All right, Shalom. Shalom. First things first, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Then we give double honors to our apostle elders, which are the apostle elders of Great Millstone, and to your hopeful elect on the four corners of the planet Earth, that's pushing this truth with all sincerity, honesty, and faith when the time of the end. Great things are taking place. 2020, the year of prophecy. Esau is losing, man. All right, just like the elders and the men that have diligently done this work, man, have shown that the prophecies are coming to pass, and you can't deny it. All right, all you can do is just watch, and hopefully you're on the right end of that. So, forgive me if any difficulties on this. I've been trying to get this lesson out for a few days, man. So, Lord willing, I can make sure this time that the Spirit allow it to go through and make sure it's edifying. The few times the sound has been getting cut off, I didn't even delete the last video because I want people to see it that Satan is definitely hindering the pushing this word, because the more people can see and believe, because it says faith cometh by hearing. So if you can hear this truth, that's a key factor in what they have to block. It says faith cometh by hearing. So blocking the hearing of the truth is a great hindrance, man. All right, so let's jump into the article. This is from Mississippi News Source, and it says America celebrates Independence Day in the land of confusion. Okay, the land of confusion we know is Babylon the Great. All right, we tell people that Babylon the Great is the landmass of America, they don't believe it because they think it's going to say America in the scriptures. No, because America, the name America, came about later on in history. It didn't come about when the prophets were prophesying of this place to come. All right, hold on. Let me pull one scripture real quick. It just came to my mind. Hold on. Because certain time prophecies took place, man. All right. Because certain time when prophecies need to come to pass, that it took a while. Okay, it didn't happen overnight. Hold on. If I can find it, it's this is a good one to get right here. Hold on. Because the time that we should be in now is we need to wait for these prophecies to come. All right, and if we're not waiting and we're not looking, then we're not believing on these prophecies. Because if you're waiting for something, that means you believe it's going to come. All right, this is the book of Hebrews 10 and verse 37, and it says, "For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come and will not tarry." And that's Yahushua. So we're waiting on Yahushua to come and redeem the planet Earth and take the power, the rulership out of Esau's hands and put it into the hands of the Negro, Latino, Native American, starting with the elect first and foremost. All right, so the word Babylon, okay, confusion. All right, let's tie that in, because we go back here. It's Jeremiah 10 verse 9. All right, Jeremiah 10 and verse 9, it says, "For lo, I will rise and cause to come against Babylon," right? The word Babylon, let's look it up. That's Strong's 894. Okay. And it says Babal. All right. It's the Hebrew word Babal. All right. And it says confusion by mixing. Babylon, Babal or Babylon, the ancient site or capital of Babylonia, modern Hilia, situated in the Euphrates. So Babylon, the word Babylon means confusion. So if we go back here and read this article and add it in there, it says America celebrates Independence Day in the land of Babel, confusion. Okay, and that's what you see taking place right now is mass confusion on a wide scale. All right, Esau don't know what's going on. The average Edomite, they're losing it. They're wearing masks in cars and doing this and doing that because the Lord is casting curses on this place for the wickedness that is done to the Negro, Latino, Native American man and the parts of the planet Earth. And the article says, it was the worst time, it was the weird times, and it was a season of sickness, shouting in defense of tension, of industrial strength, falsehood, and spin. And it was a moment of ugliness and deep injustice, and perhaps too a moment when the chance for justice felt nearer than ever before. On Independence Day, we Americans, if we can in fact, and it says if there is in fact a we in American life, celebrate, because the Lord is putting he's putting the Egyptian against the Egyptian. That says it in the scriptures also. Celebrate an anniversary of a time when a lot of people feeling real anger and scared decided to do something about it and change the world forever. This year we mark the event at a time when a lot of people are feeling really angry, scared. Some of them are trying to do something about it, hoping it will change the world forever. And the main thing that's changing the world forever is this truth. That's the main thing that's changing this world. It's not these people protesting. Protests have been going on for a long time. That hasn't changed anything. The main thing that's changed is this truth, because Yahweh Shem Yahshai has ordained. It says, if this truth be of man, it shall come to naught. That's why there's been protests at the protests. Martin Luther King ran on protests. You had sit-ins and all these different things, and nothing paved the way. But this truth has made legway because it's ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahshai. It says COVID-19 resurgent in 40 or 50 states. The death of George Floyd, the fight of racial justice, the reaction against it, the fraction political of mask, policy of mask, Salakia, the national conversion, loud, engaging, and anguish about the place that his history blemished by ugliness should hold in the presence, an uneven president embraced by millions and despised by millions, and superimposed over it all, a soon to be chaotic election season that has only just begun. It says irritable, overstressed, buffeted by invisible forces. What is in that? That's the Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. That's putting hell on this place. You see the chariots. It says it shall enter into the house of the thief. So a lot of these things are being done in by the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. All right. It says buffeted by invisible forces and just plain worn out. The United States of America on its 244th birthday is a land of confusion, the land of Babel. All right, and that's a beautiful thing, man. So now let's tie in how this place is Babylon. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into the main thing. Let's go right here. It says Babylon mystery. It says if you ask most Christians where America is in the end time Bible prophecies, they will either say that they have no idea or that they were taught that America is not there. When you think about it, this is a reasonable position since the Bible seemingly can only talk about cities and nations in the Middle East, such as Damascus, Nineveh, Egypt, and Babylon. How could the prophets possibly be talking about some Western nation when they constantly use the names and places of already known in the Middle East? For example, Babylon is Babylon still in Iraq to this day. However, what if such a familiar place was embezzled in prophecy with a modifier to subtle clue you in that it was not really literally that place, because they've been watching this truth, man. All right, because the apostle elders have said it's not talking about the actual place Babylon, Iraq, as you know today. All right, it says further, what if the prophecies went on to describe distant characteristics of this place that did not match the biblical location under the same base name? Of course, what I have in mind when I say that all this is this prophecy. Revelation 17:5. It says, and upon her forehead was written a name, Mystery Babylon, the great. It says the great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And then if you read the HCSB, which is the Holy Christian Standard Bible, it says on her forehead a cryptic name. So this is a cryptic thing. It's not something that you can just pull out. It's not saying, oh, it's the actual Babylon. It's saying it's a cryptic Babylon. And what's that Babylon today is America that you have ruling the planet Earth with the worldwide reserve currency. All right. It says, for on her forehead a cryptic name was written, Miss Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of vile things of the earth. You have homosexuality, transgenderism. These things are being pushed here, man. All right. And then let's go down to the first. And we're going to go read one of these examples that this is Babylon. It says proof number 1, deep sea water port, Revelations 18 and 17 to 19. It says, for in a single hour such fabulous wealth was destroyed in every shipmaster, seafarer, and sailor. And it says, and all who did do business by sea stood afar off, as they threw dust on their heads and kept crying out, weeping and mourning, woe, woe, the great city, where all those who have ships in sea became rich for her wealth, for in a single hour she was destroyed. So Yahweh Shimi Al-Shai is going to destroy this place in a single hour, man, by the way of those thermonuclear weapons and the angels that's going to come down and put damage on you, man. Hold on. All right, there we go. We in business. We working. All right. So let's read down here. It says, this passage tells us that merchant ships are standing off the shoreline of Babylon. These ships have either just unloaded in the port city of Mystery Babylon or are waiting to dock when the fiery judgment hits. And that's what you're going to see. Things are going to be somewhat going as order, and then the Lord is going to bring judgment. It says, why would these folks be standing on the deck of a merchant ship unless they were port facilities in the city? Answer, the city is a port city. It says the city is a port city. In this day and age, especially by virtue of the list of condiments that are traded in Mystery Babylon. See Revelations 18:11 to 13. A deep sea water seaport city. Why? A ship of today to bring such merchandise requires the ship to be large commercial freighters, and that's what you see here. All right. Let me see if I still got it pulled up. Let me see here. So all I'm doing is type in U.S. deep sea ports, and you see it right here. All right, let's look up what a deep sea port is. All right, it says, what are deep sea ports? What are deep water ports? A deep water port is a non-mel culture can be suggested that is a different from a regular port in respect of the depth of the water. The port is usually an area or platform entered into the sea by vessels, boats, ships, which also allow for protected staging and anchoring or docking for these ships to load and unload consignments and continue up towards its destination. However, a deep water port is usually made up of the usage of very large and heavy loaded ships. The depth of the water helps get them access to the deep water ports. Regularly, ports are by the large of recreational area where the water is not more than 20 feet deep. Where the deep water ports is compatible with the large heavy load, the ships, which may require the water to be 30 feet deep or even more. So that's what you see here, deep sea water ports. And that's what you have in America, man. All right. You have deep sea water ports where you need them large amount of so-called water down there for the ships to bring the product to the shoreline, okay, or not bring it to the shoreline to the deep sea water port, and then you have semi trucks that transfer the rest of the product back inland. Usually you have bridges like you see here. You see a deep sea water port, and then you see a long bridge that the semi trucks come in. They'll unload the material, and then they'll go ahead and dump it. All right. And America has those deep sea water ports. All right, so this is just more things to tie into this place. I ain't gonna make this long. Like it says, I've done it a couple times, but uh, with them calling America this, the land of confusion, the land of Babylon, we've been calling it many years through the spirit and power Yahweh Shem Shai. And now we got to know that the judgments of Mystery Babylon are going to take place also. So with that, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakar Kwadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Bashem Rakar Kwadash. Shalom. Till the next time, keep faith. Shalom. Shalom.